I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how accelerated timeline shifting really works. Because this is what I believe, and this is what has been my experience, is that we are not just physical beings. We are spiritual beings inside of a physical body. And in this video, I'm going to prove to you, to the best of my abilities, using human language, the limits of human language, that you are not a stagnant being that needs to stay stagnated and stuck in your current reality, and that you do have a choice in terms of which reality you timeline shift into. And by the time you're in that new reality, that old self is not even a thing anymore. You can't really talk about it. You can't really tell people. You can, but it's no longer a thing of the past even, because you've already shifted into a reality where that past version of you never even existed. That's how powerful of manifestation abilities we're talking about here. And I'm going to do the best I can to communicate it to you in this video, how you can actually do this and how you can speed up your manifestations, because manifestations do happen a lot faster when you step into this level of manifestation, and we're going to talk about how to do it in this video. So how accelerated timeline shifting really works, accelerated manifestation. If you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation if you want to align with your vision in the most effortless way possible. Now, number one, the first thing you need to understand in terms of how accelerated timeline shifting really works to accelerate your manifestations is something that I realized that really sped up my manifestation very, very quickly, is you never want to be in a state of waiting for your manifestations. Waiting. What is waiting? Let's talk about, like, if you think about it, waiting is a pretty ridiculous thing. Just think about this for a second. What does it even mean to wait for something? And obviously I'm using it specifically with how most people wait. I could wait but not be in resistance, but most people wait, and that implies I'm not happy with where I am. And if you're waiting for something, that means that you're in resistance to where you are. And if you're in resistance to where you are, that means that you're feeding energy to the old self, because what you resist persists and energy flows where attention goes. So if you're waiting for your money, I'm waiting for manifestations. You're waiting for the elevator, I'm waiting to get to my house. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna wait. That's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing, no judgment, that I've ever seen, to wait. Waiting, it baffled me when I realized how ridiculous it is to wait for something. Because think about it, each moment is fleeting, okay? And I realized at some point that every single moment, I'm not gonna settle for any less than infinite love and enjoying my reality to the highest possible potential, the highest possible ability that I have as a human being and as a spiritual being. I want to be completely fulfilled. I either want to be receiving completely everything I've manifested in the past, or I want to be planting a seed for something new. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We'll talk about that in a second. But never wait. Never wait. Don't wait for your man. If you're waiting, you're in resistance. If you're waiting for something, look, I'm just going to wait for this to come. Like, why? Why would you be waiting? You could be using that energy for all sorts of other things that could speed up your manifestations 50x, but instead you're waiting. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna allow this present moment to be the way it is. I'm not saying you should be in resistance, but you don't want to be waiting. You don't want to wait for anything. If you're waiting, you're in resistance. Now, what's the alternative, Francis? I get it. I don't want to be waiting for my manifestations. Okay, tell me an alternative. Well, number two, always, what you want to do is always enjoy what you've manifested, first of all, and then keep planting seeds for future manifestations. Now, let me go a little bit deeper into this, because here's the thing. Right now, in this moment, you are experiencing the past. That's really what's happening. obviously the now, from an absolute perspective, is the only moment that does exist. There is no other moment than this moment right now. But from a relative human perspective, what you have to understand is that you are experiencing the fruits of the seeds that you planted in the past. So most people are so attached to the future manifestations. It's like, hey, just take in for a moment what you've already received. You probably have been already working towards manifesting something. I've gone to the point where I've manifested certain things and I was so hung up on the next manifestation. I was like, wait a second. I've manifested the things that I told myself I was going to manifest a year ago, right? And you want to be conscious of that. So are you receiving what you've already manifested? Are you willing to just receive and fully take it in? And it's like, Francis, but now it sounds like a cop-out because you're saying just enjoy the present moment and allow everything to be. I want to manifest the next thing. I get it. I'm not even saying it as a cop-out. I'm just saying step one is to just be aware that waiting, first of all, is not helping you to get anything. So if you're waiting in resistance, that's not helping you to manifest. So I get you. I have empathy for you. If you're having trouble manifesting and you want it as quick as possible, I've been there. But if you're waiting and you're in resistance and you're not receiving what you've already manifested, then that's not helping you to manifest anything. That's just creating suffering for you and others, and it's slowing down your manifestations. So number one, just enjoy what you've manifested already. Like just receive it 100%. You know, just take in that you are receiving right now all the intentions that you planted a year ago or even a week ago. I'm at the point now where I set an intention, it comes in within days, within weeks, within hours even sometimes. I've had within a few hours the external reality shift to my intentions, and it's like I'm receiving that. I fully take that in. I fully receive everything that I intend for, because why would you intend for something if you don't want to receive it? The point of life is to receive what you intended for, no? And if you're not willing to receive it, then why intend for it? You can't just keep intending. When are you going to receive? You've been putting out so much energy out into the world, so much intention-based energy, so much focused energy, which is good. It's not a bad thing. But it's like, are you going to take some time to receive? Now, here's the thing. Once you're in receiving, now you're a clear channel to plant more seeds for the future. Now you want to declare certain visions for who you want to become. From that space of receiving and non-resistance, you want to be saying to yourself, I'm going to make that happen. Just snap your fingers. It will happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it will happen. You don't even need to always become grateful. I've had it where I can just decide I'm going to make that happen. And then a few hours later, I already see things shifting and turning and the universe conspiring in my favor to make it happen. This is how I personally manifest. If you want to be grateful for things, then you can. I'm grateful sometimes too. Everything that comes from the mind really is an intention. Now, gratitude, if you can step into that space, is going to work a lot faster for you because you're shifting literally into that alternate version of you right now. But some people have resistance around that, and I do too sometimes. So it's important to just say it's going to happen in whatever way that you feel is in resonance to you, and plant those seeds. If you fully believe gratitude is powerful, just do what works for you. Because I don't want to limit you just to say it's going to happen, or being grateful. Like, think about it like this. There came a point where somebody decided, I'm going to go to the moon. He didn't know how it was going to happen. He didn't know the instructions. Nobody had already a structure laid out for him. There was no structure laid out ever in the universe, in the history of life, on how to get to the moon. You couldn't look that up. It didn't exist. It wasn't real yet, but it existed in his mind, in his consciousness. And he decided, I don't know if he was grateful that he already got to the moon, I don't know, but whatever the case was, he was in a state of non-resistance. I'm telling you, this is how it happens. This is how creation works. He was in a state of non-resistance. He made a choice, and he really meant that choice. I'm going to go to the moon. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. And then it happened. And this is how the accelerated timeline shifting works. You never want to be waiting. You always want to be receiving, and then plant that seed and then get right back into receiving mode. And so I'm going to go to the moon, and then get right back and then keep enjoying your life. Don't focus on the how. That's not your job. You don't need to know how it's going to happen. You don't need to know the step-by-step process. The how maybe has never even been in existence before. You might be the first person to manifest something that has never been manifested before, and you're not going to find an instruction manual anywhere for that manifestation. When that person decided, I'm going to go to the moon, there was no pre-written instruction manual. He needed to trust himself with his own consciousness that he was going to find a way. So with his own will to decide he was going to manifest, you could say it's God's will working through him, whatever way you want to see it. It's all one and the same thing to me at this point. My desire is God's desire. My desire is the universe's desire. When you're in that space of receiving mode, that's how this works. So you don't need to know the how. You need to decide who you're going to become, what you're going to manifest, and then trust that it is going to happen. And then when you get that inspired thought, act on that. Because if you don't act on that, you're not fully trusting yourself, and you're not even following the next seeds that were, because one seed can lead to another seed. I might plant a seed right now that I'm going to go to the moon, and then an hour later I might have another intention and say, oh, I'm going to go talk to this person and schedule a call later today. And that's another intention. But because that intention is actually in alignment with me going to the moon, if that was my intention. So think about it. I'm in receiving mode. I plant a seed. I'm going to go to the moon. Let that go. Step into trusting. While I'm in receiving, I receive another thought, and it says, oh, I should schedule a call to talk to this person, maybe even something unrelated to going to the moon. But because I feel it's in alignment, or maybe I logically even know it's in alignment somehow, usually you want to use your logic a little bit here too, because you can ask yourself, is this situation, is this thought in alignment with who I want to become? You want to ask yourself, that's very critical, because you want to say no to the things that are not in alignment with your vision and say yes to the things that are. So that's critical too. You don't want to just say yes to every thought. You can actually notice, maybe I shouldn't feed into this thought because it's not conducive to what I want to create. But maybe sometimes you have to learn through contrast and feed into that thought to see, oh, that's not in alignment, let that go. So it really, there's no right or wrong here. But the thing that I want to communicate to you is you don't want to be waiting, you want to be receiving, plant that intention, get back into receiving, and then repeat that for infinity. What this leaves you with is this leaves you with a state of being where you're always satisfied, you're never in resistance to anything, and then you're planting more seeds to become something new. And you might even be, in a way, discontent with where you're at, because the only reason why you'd want to manifest something more is if you're not completely satisfied with where you are, no? Why would a human being strive for something more if they're totally happy with where they are? I'm not saying to be in resistance to where you are. I'm saying what drives human beings forward is the vision of who they want to become. That's what a human being ultimately boils down to. That's what the self-actualization journey ultimately boils down to, is you are somewhere where you're not happy where you are and you want to become something new. But that doesn't mean you have to be in resistance or waiting. You can be in receiving mode, what I call receiving mode. Keep planting those seeds. Okay, for instance, you're getting repetitive. I get it. Well, this is the thing. If you apply this, you will notice your reality starting to shift fairly quickly, shockingly quickly. I've had it where I've said things to people and then instantly a day later it's just already started shifting, like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen, and then it just happens. Or I declare like, hey, this is gonna happen, and then it just happens. It just works that way. It just literally works. Like it literally works. Like I remember when I was traveling to Costa Rica, there was this rule where when you come back to Canada, that's where I live, you have to like stay at a hotel for 3 days for the whole quarantine thing, right? You have to stay at a hotel. And what happened was I decided, you know what? By the time I'm done my trip, they're gonna remove that rule. I don't know how, but I just know it. Long and behold, 2 days before the end of my trip, that rule was removed. No more, you don't need to stay at that hotel. They removed the rule. The rule was removed. And this is one example out of many that I can share with you in terms of how reality starts to shift to my own intentions. I set an intention, and it's because I didn't misalign or contradict any of my energies. I manifested, I spoke that reality into existence. You have to be conscious of the words you use, because your words do manifest. You speak your reality into existence. So being receiving, always plant seeds. Be conscious of what you're saying. Be conscious of what you're putting out. Be conscious of what you're sending out electrically out into the universe. Get back into receiving. Don't focus on the how. It will manifest. You'll see it happen. Number 3, this is a little bit of a bonus. Make fearless, bold choices. There's no such thing as a right or wrong choice. What you want to do is when you have a thought that comes in and you can sense it's in alignment with your vision, make that choice. Maybe you don't even know if it's in alignment with your vision. Make that choice. Maybe you're making a choice to say no to somebody. Make that choice. Fully own every single seed that you receive. Fully own every single decision that you make if you make a decision. Even to not make a decision is a decision. If you make a decision to not talk to somebody, that's a decision. Fearlessly, boldly own that decision. Own every single decision that comes into your mind, even if it's a decision to not agree to something or to ignore a previous decision that you had a second ago. You might say, oh, I'm going to talk to this person. Nope, that's not in alignment with my vision. You had a decision to talk to somebody, and then you had another decision to go against that decision. Fully own that decision. Everything is decision. I'm writing a book, by the way, on the power of choice and the power of decision. Stay tuned for that. But what you want to do is you want to make fearless and bold choices, because if you make fearless and bold choices and relentlessly act on the choices that you know are in alignment with your vision, and then fearlessly and boldly make the choices to say no to the things that are not in alignment, I don't know if I repeated myself there. If you fearlessly and boldly say no to the things that are out of alignment with your vision and your manifestation, and you fearlessly and boldly say yes to all the things that are in alignment with your manifestation and your vision, and you stay on that vibrational stream, like you're flowing with the energy. You're going what in Abraham Hicks calls you're going downstream. You're in flow vibrationally. If you're in flow vibrationally, you are going to manifest your reality into existence. And one way that I found to make this happen is I fearlessly and boldly make choices. I don't second guess my choices anymore, because if I second guess my choices, it stagnates my energy, it lowers my vibration, and it's not conducive to my manifestations. Being indecisive is a choice in my reality. Maybe it doesn't seem like that for you, or for some people it might not seem like that, but I'm at a point in my consciousness where to be indecisive is a choice. And so I'm choosing to get into this like weird, no, what a waste of time. I make a choice, maybe it's the wrong choice, maybe it's the right choice. I use my discernment to decide if this is in alignment with my vision, and own that fully, and fully go into that and trust that it will work the way that it's meant to. And if it doesn't work, well, then that's a good thing, because I learned through contrast. If it does work, well, then great, it works. That's exactly what I wanted. And you'll get better at this over time. You can discern very powerfully once you get better at manifesting your reality into existence. And as your consciousness increases and your energy levels increase and your ability to manifest increases, you're going to be able to discern which choices are going to be conducive to your vision and which choices are not going to be conducive to your vision. You can actually sense. It's not even quite a sense, it's not even a thought or a feeling, it's something beneath that where you know for a fact that no, this circumstance, this person is not going to be conducive to my manifestation. It's not personal, it's not that I have anything against this person or this situation or this book or this whatever, but you'll say, you know what? No, that's not resonating with me. Fully own that choice. Don't be scared. The only reason you're going to be scared is if you don't know exactly where you want to go. If you know where you want to go, you're not going to have any fear around saying no to people. If you do know where you want to go, you'll fearlessly and boldly say no to people and say yes to the people and the things and the circumstances and the habits and the patterns and the vibrations and the feelings and whatever you need in order to become that person that you want to be, or to manifest that intention that you set for yourself. So making fearless and bold choices is critical, because if you're starting to not make choices fearlessly, you're slowing down your manifestations incredibly. If you really want to step into what I call accelerated timeline shifting, you have to be all in on your life. You have to go all in on your vision. You have to go all in on what's important to you. You have to go all in on every single choice that you make and fully own that choice. You don't know if it's the right choice. You don't know if it's the wrong choice. All you know is that you're not happy with where you are. You're not in resistance to where you are. But from a space of non-resistance, you want something more out of life. And so you have that vision and you go towards that vision relentlessly and fearlessly and boldly and unapologetically. You're committed to where you want to go and who you want to become. Now, if you apply these three things into your life, you will understand how accelerated timeline shifting really works, and you will accelerate your manifestation. So number one, never be in a state of waiting. Number two, always be in receiving. Plant seeds for the future visions that you want to become and receive later on in that future present moment. Number three, make fearless and bold choices. If you apply these things, you will be a manifesting, powerful being. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but you're going to be very, very powerful, to say the least. And with that, I conclude this video. If you want to work with me one-on-one personally, once again, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, please hit that like button so that more people can get access to these videos, because I do believe that every single person does deserve to know that they are the creator of their reality, and that they can do so in an effortless way that is not in resistance to this present moment, where they can create what they want in the most effortless way possible. And hitting that like button does help the algorithm. It does help the channel grow. Also, if you want to leave a comment down below, that helps too. So I would greatly appreciate that. And with that, that's all I got for today. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.